Stop taking creatine after 50 unless you know this crucial side effect. If you are a man over 50 years old and you have been taking creatine, or you are thinking about starting creatine, you need to hear what I am about to tell you. Because there is one side effect that almost nobody is talking about, and it could be silently affecting your kidneys, your blood pressure, your energy levels, and your overall health without you even realizing it. But here is the good news. Once you understand this crucial information, creatine can actually become one of the most powerful supplements you have ever used for building muscle, protecting your brain, and fighting age-related decline. Stay until the end because I am going to reveal exactly how to use creatine safely and effectively after the age of 50, and I promise you, this information could change everything about how you approach your health and fitness for the rest of your life. Also, tell me in the comments where you are watching from today. Drop your name and your city below. I read and reply to every single comment because I genuinely care about helping you succeed on this journey. Now let us get into the information that could save your health and transform your results. 1. Medication interactions that could put you at risk. If you are a man over 50, there is a high probability that you are taking at least one medication. Statistics show that the average American over 50 takes approximately 4 prescription medications. This creates a situation that younger creatine users simply do not face: the potential for supplement drug interactions. Let me be very clear here. I am not a doctor, and nothing in this video should replace professional medical advice. However, I can share information that will help you have more informed conversations with your healthcare provider. Creatine is processed through the kidneys, which means any medication that affects kidney function could potentially interact with creatine supplementation. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, commonly known as NSAIDs, are frequently used by men over 50 for joint pain and inflammation. Long-term use of these drugs can affect kidney function, and combining them with creatine might theoretically increase the load on your kidneys. This does not mean you cannot take both, but it does mean you should be aware of this potential interaction and discuss it with your doctor. Certain blood pressure medications, particularly a class called diuretics, work by affecting how your body handles water and electrolytes. Since creatine also affects water distribution in your body, there could be interactions that affect hydration status, electrolyte balance, or the effectiveness of your medication. Again, this is not a reason to avoid creatine entirely, but it is a reason to involve your healthcare provider in the decision. Diabetes medications are another category to consider. Creatine has actually shown some promising effects on blood sugar regulation in some studies, but this means it could potentially interact with diabetes medications that are designed to control blood sugar. If your medication is calibrated based on your normal blood sugar patterns, adding a supplement that affects blood sugar could theoretically alter how well your medication works. The bottom line is this: if you are over 50 and taking any prescription medications, you should have a conversation with your doctor or pharmacist before starting creatine. Bring information about creatine supplementation to that conversation. Many healthcare providers are not deeply familiar with sports supplements, so you may need to be proactive in initiating this discussion. The goal is not to scare you away from creatine. The goal is to ensure that you can use it safely alongside whatever medical treatments you are currently receiving. 2. The hydration crisis that hits harder after 50. Now let us talk about hydration, and let me tell you, this is not just some generic advice to drink more water. This is about a physiological reality that becomes significantly more important and more challenging as you age. Creatine works by pulling water into your muscle cells. This is actually one of the mechanisms that makes it so effective for muscle performance and recovery. Your muscles become more hydrated at the cellular level, which creates an environment that supports protein synthesis, energy production, and strength output. This is a good thing when you are properly hydrated overall. But here is what nobody tells men over 50. Your sense of thirst diminishes as you age. This is a documented physiological change that happens to virtually everyone. The biological mechanisms that signal thirst become less sensitive over the decades, which means you can be significantly dehydrated without feeling particularly thirsty. Studies have shown that older adults often operate in a state of chronic mild dehydration without even realizing it. Now add creatine to this equation. You have a supplement that pulls water into your muscles, combined with a diminished thirst response that fails to alert you when you need more fluids. This is a recipe for problems. The symptoms of inadequate hydration while taking creatine can include headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, brain fog, dizziness, digestive discomfort, and that bloated, uncomfortable feeling that causes many people to blame the creatine itself. In reality, the creatine is doing exactly what it is supposed to do. The problem is that your overall fluid intake is not keeping up with the demands being placed on your system. For men over 50, this becomes even more critical because dehydration affects kidney function, cardiovascular performance, joint lubrication, and cognitive clarity. All of these systems become more vulnerable to hydration status as you age. So what is the solution? You cannot rely on thirst alone to guide your water intake. You need to create a systematic approach to hydration that ensures you are consuming adequate fluids throughout the day regardless of whether you feel thirsty. A practical strategy is to keep a water bottle with you at all times and set specific hydration goals tied to daily activities. Drink a full glass of water when you wake up. Drink water with every meal. Drink water before, during, and after your workouts. Drink water before bed. For most men over 50 taking creatine, a good target is between 10 to 14 cups of water per day, and that number increases if you are exercising intensely, sweating heavily, or living in a hot climate. If you nail your hydration, many of the side effects people blame on creatine simply disappear. 3. Blood pressure considerations for the over 50 crowd. This is a section you will not find in most creatine videos, but it is absolutely essential for men over 50. Let us talk about blood pressure and cardiovascular considerations when taking creatine. As men age, the prevalence of high blood pressure increases dramatically. By the age of 50, approximately 50% of men have some degree of hypertension. By 65, that number climbs even higher. If you are in this demographic, you need to understand how creatine might interact with your cardiovascular health. Here is the good news first. Research has not shown that creatine directly raises blood pressure in healthy individuals. In fact, some studies have suggested that creatine might have neutral or even slightly beneficial effects on cardiovascular markers in certain populations. However, there are indirect mechanisms that men over 50 need to be aware of. The water retention effect of creatine, while primarily occurring inside muscle cells, can contribute to an overall increase in total body water. In some individuals, particularly those who are already dealing with fluid retention issues or borderline blood pressure, this additional water weight could theoretically contribute to elevated blood pressure readings. If you are a man over 50 who is already managing high blood pressure, you should monitor your blood pressure more closely when starting creatine supplementation. You should start with a lower dose than typically recommended to see how your body responds. You should ensure that your sodium intake is controlled because combining creatine with a high sodium diet could exacerbate fluid retention. And most importantly, you should communicate with your healthcare provider about your supplementation, especially if you are taking medications for blood pressure. The interaction between creatine and blood pressure medications has not been extensively studied, so erring on the side of caution and transparency with your doctor is the smart approach. Another cardiovascular consideration is the importance of not using creatine as a substitute for actual cardiovascular exercise. Some men over 50 focus so heavily on building muscle and taking supplements that they neglect their heart health. Creatine supports muscle performance, but it does not replace the need for regular cardiovascular activity. A balanced approach that includes resistance training, cardiovascular exercise, proper nutrition, and intelligent supplementation is the path to optimal health after 50. 4. The dosing mistake that destroys your results. The dosing mistake that destroys your results. Now let us talk about dosing, because this is where men over 50 often make critical mistakes that either limit their results or cause unnecessary side effects. The standard recommendation for creatine is 5 grams per day, and for most younger adults, this works perfectly well. But here is what nobody tells you. Your optimal dose after 50 might actually be different, and it might need to be approached more carefully than when you were younger. First, let us address the loading phase debate. You may have heard that when starting creatine, you should do a loading phase where you take 20 grams per day divided into 4 doses for the first 5 to 7 days. This rapidly saturates your muscles with creatine. While this approach is fine for many people, men over 50 should think twice before jumping into an aggressive loading phase. Your digestive system may be more sensitive to high doses. Your kidneys may process the creatine less efficiently. And the gastrointestinal distress that sometimes accompanies loading can be more pronounced and more uncomfortable as you age. The alternative approach is to skip the loading phase entirely and simply take 3 to 5 grams per day consistently. This will fully saturate your muscles within 3 to 4 weeks rather than 1 week, but you will avoid the digestive upset, the potential kidney stress, and the discomfort that can come with loading. For most men over 50, the slower approach is the smarter approach. Patience pays off when it comes to supplementation. Another dosing consideration is body weight. The standard 5-gram recommendation was developed based on average body weights and does not account for significant variations. If you are a smaller man, say 150 pounds or less, you might be able to achieve full saturation with 3 grams per day. If you are a larger man, 220 pounds or more, you might benefit from slightly higher doses, perhaps 6 to 7 grams per day. Adjusting your dose based on your individual body size helps you avoid taking more than you need while ensuring you are taking enough to be effective. Finally, consistency matters far more than the exact dose. Taking 3 grams every single day will produce better results than taking 5 grams inconsistently. Do not get so caught up in finding the perfect dose that you end up skipping days or second-guessing your approach. Pick a reasonable dose in the 3 to 5 gram range. Take it daily and let time do the work. Finally, the crucial side effect nobody explains properly. Now let me reveal the crucial side effect that I mentioned in the title, the one that almost nobody talks about when it comes to creatine use after 50. This side effect is the impact that creatine can have on your creatinine levels and how this interacts with age-related changes in kidney function. Let me explain this in simple terms because this is absolutely essential for every man over 50 to understand. When you take creatine, your body breaks it down into a substance called creatinine. Creatinine is a waste product that your kidneys filter out of your blood and eliminate through your urine. Here is the critical point. Doctors use creatinine levels in your blood as one of the primary markers to assess how well your kidneys are functioning. When you take creatine supplements, your creatinine levels will naturally rise because you have more creatine in your system being broken down. This is completely normal and does not indicate any kidney damage in healthy individuals. However, here is where the problem arises for men over 50. As you age, your kidney function naturally declines. This is a normal part of aging, and most people experience some reduction in kidney filtration capacity as they get older. When you combine age-related kidney changes with elevated creatinine levels from creatine supplementation, your blood tests might show numbers that look alarming to you and potentially to your doctor. You might go in for a routine checkup, your doctor sees elevated creatinine levels, and suddenly you are being told you might have kidney disease when in reality, your kidneys are perfectly healthy and the elevated numbers are simply from your creatine supplementation. This creates 2 dangerous scenarios. In the first scenario, men panic when they see their blood work, stop taking creatine entirely, and miss out on all the incredible benefits that this supplement could be providing for their muscle mass, brain health, and overall vitality. In the second scenario, which is even more dangerous, the elevated creatinine from creatine supplementation masks actual kidney problems that might be developing because both the doctor and the patient assume the numbers are just from the supplement. The solution to this crucial side effect is not to stop taking creatine. The solution is to be informed, to communicate openly with your healthcare provider, and to get proper kidney function testing that goes beyond simple creatinine measurements. If you are over 50 and taking creatine, you should inform your doctor about your supplementation before any blood tests. You should ask for a comprehensive kidney function panel that includes estimated glomerular filtration rate, which gives a more accurate picture of kidney health. You should also consider getting baseline kidney function tests before starting creatine supplementation so you have numbers to compare against. This is the kind of information that most fitness content completely ignores, and it could be the difference between confident, safe supplementation and unnecessary worry or missed warning signs. So should you stop taking creatine after 50? Absolutely not. Creatine might actually be more valuable now than it ever was when you were younger. Fighting muscle loss, supporting brain function, enhancing your training, these benefits matter more with each passing decade. But you need to use it smart. Communicate with your doctor. Hydrate like your life depends on it, because kind of it does. Dose conservatively. Train with actual intensity. And listen to your body when it talks to you. Comment active below right now to get my free exercise plus creatine guide for men above 50. I put together everything you need to maximize results and avoid the mistakes we talked about today. Smash the like button if this helped you. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because I am dropping content specifically for men who refuse to let age be an excuse. Now tell me in the comments, are you currently taking creatine, thinking about starting, or did you try it and quit? Let us talk about it. I read and reply to every comment because building this community is what this is all about. Thanks for watching until the end. That tells me you are serious about doing this right. Now get out there, train hard, train smart, and I will see you in the next video.